Are you striving to please God through your performance? Or are you resting in faith that He is already pleased when you trust Him? The Bible makes it clear in Hebrews 11:6 that without faith it is impossible to please God. Yet many people misunderstand this truth. They fall into the trap of thinking that in order to please God, they must perform through endless works, striving, or perfection. But God has never made His requirements complicated. He does not call us to impress Him with performance. He calls us to trust Him with faith. Too often, believers assume that if they pray longer, fast harder, then God will be pleased. While prayer and fasting are powerful, they were never meant to replace faith. If our focus shifts to performance rather than trust, we lose sight of the very foundation that God desires from us. That is faith in who He is and what He has already promised. There are two important questions that you should ask yourself. Do my prayers flow from genuine faith, or are they an attempt to earn God's approval? When challenges arise, do I lean on my own efforts, or do I trust God's promises to carry me through? God is not impressed by our effort. He is not watching for the person who can check off the most spiritual boxes or appear the most religious outwardly. He looks for the ones whose heart rests in Him, who trust His word above their own feelings, and who believes that what He said is true no matter the circumstance. Faith is simply taking God at His word. It is believing that He is who He says He is and that He will do what He says He will do. This pleases Him because it honors His character and places Him in His rightful position as Lord. Faith acknowledges that we cannot save ourselves, sustain ourselves, or accomplish His will apart from Him. When we rely on our works alone, we place the weight of our salvation, our growth, and our breakthroughs on ourselves. This leads only to frustration, guilt, and condemnation, because no one can live perfectly enough to satisfy God's holy standard. This is why Christ came, to fulfill what we could never do. Our part is to believe and receive by faith what He has already done. Even when we engage in prayer, fasting, or good works, these must flow from faith, not replace it. Works are meant to be the evidence of our faith, not the source of our righteousness. James reminds us that faith without works is dead, but works without faith are empty. True works spring from a heart anchored in trust, not striving to earn approval. God delights when His children trust Him like little children trust their parents. Think of how a child jumps into their father's arms without hesitation. That is the kind of faith that pleases God. It is not complicated, it is not burdensome, it's simple trust. He asks us to believe Him, to lean into Him, and to rest in His goodness. Faith also brings about freedom. When we shift our focus from performance to faithfulness, the pressure lifts. We no longer have to live in fear of failing God or coming up short. Instead, we can walk in confidence, knowing that our faith places us in the right standing with Him. You know, the reason my channel is called Raised in Faith is because the Lord nurtured my faith, not my works. I was saved when I was 8, and from the very beginning, He began teaching me who He was. Every time He revealed something about Himself, I simply believed Him. When He said He was a big God, I knew that I could ask Him for big things. When He said that He was my protector, fear had no place in me. I had trust in the one who spoke. Looking back, I can see that my faith was never built on religion or tradition, but on the voice of the Lord who revealed Himself to me. He has proven over and over again that He is exactly who He said He is: faithful, powerful, and trustworthy. This is why I continue to stand on His word with confidence. My life is a testimony that God is amazing and that He keeps His promises. The same God who revealed Himself to me wants to reveal Himself to you. He does not hide who he is. He delights in making himself known to his children. The question is, will you believe him when he speaks? Will you take him at his word even when your circumstances say otherwise? Faith isn't complicated. It's childlike trust in the one who cannot lie. If he says that he is your provider, then you can live with confidence that lack will not define you. If he says that he is your healer, then sickness does not get the final say. If he says he will never leave you, then you can walk in confidence and not fear. I believed what God said about himself, and I've watched him prove it time and time again. That same invitation is open to you. So if you are striving to please God, you are in the wrong place. He wants you to believe him, trust him, take him at his word, and you will see his hand move in your life in ways that you have never imagined. Until next time.